So as you probably have heard, Candace Owens has been fired from the Daily Wire for exercising her rights to freedom of speech, in my opinion. And now Candace Owens is going full scorched earth on the Daily Wire and exposing everything that's happening, exposing everything, why she got fired, the other opinions that people don't really know much about for other people within Daily Wire. And I'll also show you some other clips that Candace didn't even talk about in this thread right here of just opinions that you wouldn't think people like Ben Shapiro and the others in the Daily Wire would hold, but they actually do. And they're trying to trick you into thinking that they don't believe these things when they're kind of like radically against a lot of things that conservatives out there have fallen for, that they think the Daily Wire actually does believe, and they just don't. They don't believe those things. So let's get into this thread here from Candace Owens going fully scorched earth on the Daily Wire. This first tweet here says, "For the last week, my former colleague at the Daily Wire, Andrew Clavin, has been spreading some inaccuracies about me that I view to be disparaging to my character. So let's slowly unpack his claims here publicly." And here is a tweet or a clip here from Andrew Clavin that went pretty viral. And Candace Owens tweets out, "Andrew Clavin, in an attempt to explain why Christ is king can be I'm not going to say this word too many times because I just can't say it. But you know what I'm saying. Why Christ is king is controversial. Offered this on a podcast about me, talking about Candace Owens. So let's check this clip out right here from Andrew Clavin.
Totally fair question. And it was because one of our major talents at the Daily Wire the Daily Wire parted ways with Candace Owens. And part of it was things that she was saying that we felt were strongly anti-Semitic. And she was doing it in such a way that it was kind of hard to pin down. So I was trying to show where these things happen. So for instance, she retweeted a tweet accusing a Jewish guy of being drunk on Christian blood, which is of course an ancient slander against the Jews, that they eat Christian children. Totally fair question. And it was.
So that's the clip there from Andrew Clavin that Candace Owens is talking about. And that's just the tip of the iceberg of this whole thing. So she also responds to that clip and says, "Wow, that sounds crazy. Candace Owens hates those people so much that she's randomly accusing some fine young person of drinking Christian blood. Crazy. And also untrue and completely removed from some important context." Candace Owens goes on to say, "Number one, I've never reposted anything. I certainly did like a tweet, however. What is the appropriate context? The person Andrew Clavin is referring to is Rabbi Shmuley, or Shmuley, I don't know how to say his name, but who spent 2 years attacking me. No one, not a single one of my colleagues included, defended or said what he was doing was wrong. After 2 years, I told the public about Rabbi Shmuley's nonstop harassment, plus showed some proof of his threats. What did this rabbi do in return? He libeled me harder. He accused me of directing my followers to that phrase there. I'm not kidding. This is what he tweeted, and here is the Rabbi Shmuley tweet. You can look at it for yourself. It's just a bunch of words that I just straight up can't read, but it's disgusting. Like it just is. Like it's just disgusting that he accused Candace Owens of doing these things when Candace Owens has never accused, she's never tried to get her audience to do any of these things that he's accusing her of. And everybody knows that. It's insane. And Candace Owens goes on to say, the rabbi was clearly lying. The person who messaged him privately in that correspondence did so before I had ever informed the public about his harassment. It was quite literally a smear. Gratefully, someone called him out on the lie by citing the date of the message. It says February 20th, Rabbi, are you drunk on that blood again? This is a tweet that I liked. I liked some random person on the internet who very quickly debunked the horrendous lie that I would ever send any person to threaten or harm anyone. And now that you have the full context, please revisit Andrew's remarks about that stuff that I'm going to replay the clip here in 1 second. I recently learned that, that stuff is unlike any hate in the world because the definition mutates. Yeah, it literally does. And it mutates not just for these random people on Twitter. It mutates for a lot of the Daily Wire members, especially Ben Shapiro. Whenever Ben Shapiro, if you ever criticize anything that he says, if he ever doesn't like anything that you say, he'll just call you anti-Semitic, without hesitation. And anytime one of his coworkers tries to call out that fact that, those people are off limits, if you ever question if something is anti-Semitic or not, he'll shut you down immediately. And so will his co-owner of the Daily Wire, Jeremy Boring, will shut you down immediately. And I'm not even just talking about the Candace Owens situation, but I showed a clip a couple of videos ago, I don't have it pulled up right now, where Matt Walsh was trying to say something about that stuff as well. The same kind of line of questioning that Candace Owens is going down on a podcast with Ben Shapiro and Jeremy Boring, and he got shut down instantly, And if he would have continued down the line of questioning, like Candace Owens did, if he continues down it, because it seems like he might be going down that line as well, he's probably going to end up fired too, because they can't stand anybody who differs in opinion from them. Today's current definition of anti-Semitism from Candace Owens right here seems to be a Christian defending herself from a predatory, dishonest rabbi by liking a tweet for the obvious reason that it debunked his lie about her. It really is nothing short of amazing that given all the threats that Rabbi Shmuley made against me, what seemingly disturbed Andrew, or at least what moved him to action, was my unacceptable like of a tweet, which underscored the rabbi's dishonesty. Really something. And then Chief Trumpster here says, Andrew was lying. We stand with you. Christ is king. That's basically the sentiment behind every single reply. But now that we've gone through this whole thread, and I also have a couple of other clips to show you as well. Now that we've gone through this whole thread, let's go revisit Andrew Klavan's clip here that like Candace Owens tells us to do.
Totally fair question. And it was because one of our major talents at the Daily Wire parted ways. The Daily Wire parted ways with Candace Owens. And part of it was things that she was saying that we felt were strongly anti-Semitic. And she was doing it in such a way that it was kind of hard to pin down. So I was trying to show where these things happen. So, for instance, she retweeted a tweet accusing a Jewish guy of being drunk on Christian blood, which is, of course, an ancient slander against the Jews, that they eat Christian children.
Yeah. So now that you have the full context that Candace Owens was giving us there, you can kind of see how this is just, just a lie. It's very out of context. So it's just wild that, like Candace Owens was saying, she was getting attacked by someone publicly. Nobody tried to defend her. Even after she made it known that she was being attacked by this person and smeared by this person, no one from the Daily Wire, not Ben Shapiro, not Andrew Klavan, not Michael Knowles, Matt Walsh, nobody tried to defend her and help her out. Instead, they attack her response to the person. It's just, it's crazy, man. And then, like I said, there's some other clips that have been coming out recently of Ben Shapiro saying some things. Here's Ben Shapiro over on Joe Rogan's podcast that it's just like a lot of Daily Wire members would be very, very surprised to see stuff like this, because they trick you into thinking that they don't think this way. But just watch this clip of Ben Shapiro over on Joe Rogan's podcast talking about Christianity.
From a Jewish point of view, where we don't believe in the divinity of Christ, I think that there you can make an argument that the Gospels, which were written,
he was just a prophet.
Significant. No. We don't even believe he was a prophet.
What do you think he was? What do you guys think?
What do I think he was historically? I think he was a Jew who tried to lead a revolt against the Romans and got killed for his trouble, just like a lot of other Jews at that time who were crucified for trying to lead revolts against the Roman and got killed for their trouble.
So he became legend in story, and it became a bigger and bigger deal as time went on.
Yeah, he had a group of followers, and then that gradually.
If you enjoy content like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. It really does help me out a ton. Let's get back to the video.
Grew, and then
do you think he was resurrected?
No, that's not a Jewish belief.
Okay, I just want to check.
Yeah, no, we're not into we're not into miracle stories. No, that's not. No.
You don't have any miracles?
No, not by Jesus. Right?
No?
They're ones in the Old Testament.
Ones?
Like, I can't join a church, I assume. I don't believe the things that people in the church believe.
You probably could if you donate. You got to give the right amount of money.
Well, I don't believe in the Jesus, so there's that
Jesus
part. Yeah. That's not my thing, right? I mean, so
a lot of people, when I showed this clip the first time, were very, very shocked to see Ben Shapiro saying stuff like that. And this is an older clip. This isn't from recent appearance of Ben Shapiro on Joe Rogan's podcast. So you can see Joe Rogan is even a lot more skeptical than he is nowadays. Nowadays, Joe Rogan is, saying that we need Christianity, we need religion, people need faith, more than anything right now. But back then, Joe Rogan was very, very skeptical. He was very, kind of just looking down upon people who had faith, who were religious, who were Christians. So he's kind of agreeing with Ben Shapiro there, laughing about it all. But nowadays, Joe Rogan's a lot more accepting of that and even pushing people towards that direction. Ben Shapiro might be even further in the direction of mocking Christianity. And people are so shocked to see this, but this is how the Daily Wire looks at you. If you're a Christian, they truly think you're beneath them. And I don't understand how anyone can defend Ben Shapiro and Jeremy Boring in the Daily Wire and think that Candace Owens was in the wrong here, especially if you're a Christian. Anyway, let me know what you guys are thinking about Candace Owens going scorched earth over on the Daily Wire. I feel like there's going to be a ton more that comes out recently from Candace Owens, revealing the truth about what happened within the Daily Wire and why Candace Owens was fired. Let me know in the comments what you're thinking about the whole situation. If you did enjoy the video, please leave a like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I hope to see you on the next one.